Alright, we're gonna get into this game now. I already watched a little bit of it. I just wanted to make sure I had the correct analysis of what was going on in the early game. Late game, it's a little bit more difficult to specifically say like what can and should be done because obviously there there's a lot less. There's a lot more variables going on in the early game. There's very few. It's when you have your starting gold, it's very easy to tell someone what they ought to be doing with their starting gold, right? And you are not PA, you are Juggernaut. Okay, so first off, you look at their two heroes, their possible mid heroes. It is a pub, so you never really know what people are going to do, but you are certain that it's either the Drow, the Troll, or the Queen of Pain. So 100% you're going to be against a ranged hero with varying levels of initial damage. But either way, you know for a fact it's going to be a ranged hero. You need to buy a Poor Man's Shield. And you do identify that, you buy it later on, but that needs to be your starting gold. Even if you're not getting tangos shared by your team. I mean, your ideal is that you get Poor Man's Shield, a branch, a Fairy Fire, and then 2 shared tangos, and then you buy Salve immediately. But if that's not going to happen, you have enough gold for Poor Man's Shield and Tango now. That's a thing that you can do. It was changed a while ago that... just items when the 50 gold got taken off of Stout Shield and they made it a bit weaker, you could then buy well, that was a fun thing that just happened. Anyway, you can buy Tango Poor Man's Shield, and that's what you want. You only have 50 damage. You definitely need something. I think my main starting for Juggernaut is either Stout Shield Quelling, if it's like melee versus melee and contesting isn't that big a deal and you're not being contested, it's like a trade farm lane like against a Dragonite or something like that, or just Poor Man's Shield. You need the 6 damage. 50 is not a lot of base damage. You're competing against someone for last hits, and the more damage you have, the more last hits you'll have, and the less like more denies and less last hits they'll get, and then you can also trade with them a lot better. So like this is a fight against this Drow Ranger. She has decent damage, but a really bad attack. Not only is she ranged, but her attack animation is super awful. So if you have more damage than her and a nice attack animation, you can contest her like man fighter pretty easily. And then you'd be able to just go Poor Man's Shield, and then if you really do think that you need the salve, you can get the salve immediately with your bounty rune. And then after that, you would want to rush the boots as soon as possible. Drow, not that fast to hear. She's 300. You're 305, but she is pretty squishy. She's only got 620 health, but she with the +3 strength, and you've got about that much, and you don't even have any stats on you. So you know for a fact it's like pretty easy to deal with her. She doesn't have an obscene amount of health. You can blade flurry her down pretty easily. So if you get the boots advantage, you can just press Q, run at her. There's nothing she can do. Obviously the lane didn't go quite in your favor at this point. I'm gonna try to scale it back a little bit because this like laning stuff is actually pretty important. So what's going on right now? Your creeps are back there, which is largely okay. It might be in your best interest to pull these back and get them there. Yeah. So, all right. So you see, your creeps are pretty far back, and theirs are kind of like on her side near her high ground. Right when she started pulling those creeps back this way, what you could have done is if you right-click her, it'll pull your creeps, and then you would have pulled them over to your ranged creep here. This isn't too bad. It's kind of unfortunate you missed that last hit, but things like that happen, and you're losing a lot of experience because this Veno's here right now. But as a result of the way she manipulated the creeps, you are now going to have 2 ranged creeps for a little bit. And that's just, even though it died quickly, it did do enough damage. You see the health is completely offset. She's kind of pulling it back a little bit for you, but you see the lane should in general be pushing towards her. So that's a nice deny, but it did directly cost you that last hit. You might have been able to get it if you did it immediately, one to the other. But in general, that last hit should have been decently obvious that was one that you could get. The deny also was not a deny that you could get, but it wasn't clear if you could get both. If you have the option for an obvious last hit or an obvious deny, always go for the obvious last hit. Worst come to worst, like the best case scenario is you get the deny but then don't get the gold, and starving her 30 experience is worth a lot less than you having 40 gold. Alright, now it's good you got the Poor Man's Shield here, but you should have called it immediately. I understand the Legion is asking for the courier. No one gives a fuck about that. That is not remotely important. You are the mid laner. You have authority on this. It's a ground courier. This person's getting a fucking Iron Talon. Like, just jungle your way back to base. I don't know. That's not acceptable. Like that person chose to do something bad. You need your poor man shield. You are the mid player, and also the path is like from here to here. That's a lot shorter than from here all the way to there. It's like fuck like 1.5 times or something like that. All right, and getting into your last thing a little bit, you do a little bit too much of this crab shit. This is something I talked to Roland about when I was watching him last sitting. You kind of rock back and forth a lot. You're moving around. I feel like there's a lot of players, and when they're early on, they notice that like professional players or just people who are better than them, they just notice that in general people move around a lot when they are last hitting, and that is true to an extent when you are against like when you're in a dual lane situation like these guys here. If they were, let me see if they have like a decent chunk of time where they're actually doing this business. Yeah, not really. Okay, let's see how this looks. Let's speed it up a little bit. This is actually normal speed. It looks really fast when you. All right, so like, see this person moving around and stuff. That's because they are going to get harassed. They want to be unpredictable about the way they're moving. Maybe someone's going to come up and help gank, and they don't want it to be very strange when they're when they're toggling back and forth. So when you are in like a lane where you're fighting someone else, it does make sense to be moving around like a crab in between auto attacks. But when the auto attack is coming, you need to fucking just sit there, have some patience, and go for the last hit. If you tank a hit, you're probably gonna tank the hit either way. Like if you're walking around, it's not like they're gonna miss because you're serpentining. Like if they're within range to hit you, they're gonna fucking hit you. So when you're going for last hits, just don't fucking move around. If the last hit is coming soon, just go for it. Okay, now we're gonna talk about this a little bit here. Standard convention for mid lane. If you ever do want to go for a rune, which you do have that inclination right now, one, if you don't have boots, you need to be damn sure you want to go for that rune. Two, what you want to do is you want to push up the wave and then go for the rune. And that's not, that's like the diction that's normally used, but what you actually want to do is you want to clear the enemy creep wave to a point where your creeps will immediately run into their tower. And that is clearly not what happened here. So you already started running away, but there is a lane right here, so you're guaranteed going to miss one. And then we'll just see how many hits you actually do miss going for this lane here. Actually, I want to see when you could have. All right, so you're doing this, which is fine. So it's clear that you have a creep equilibrium advantage. So your lane is definitely going to push. And the idea here is Drow cannot go for this rune unless she gives up. Like she'll probably give up two range creeps if she goes for that. And that's what's gonna happen. She has no wave clear, no nothing. You know that this creep wave is gonna die. Even if your melees die, you have two range that are out of range of the tower, and you have another wave coming. There's no way you don't kill this wave fairly quickly. And you have 10 seconds on the rune spawn. And they have a dual lane top, so it's very unlikely they're going to go for your rune. But, okay, so you missed one creep. And keep in mind, this is damage with two range creeps, more like, one and a third, because, low ground. That's two, and this probably was an easy deny. Yep, she just fucked that up. It would have been a deny. So it's two range creeps, or two melee creeps missed, a melee deny, three melee creeps. Yeah, so that's about, I mean, if you did get those, even if you only got, like one of them, or half of the last hits here, that was a really easy deny. So one deny, about 40 experience that you could have starved her of, and probably about somewhere between 80 and gold or whatever. So you did get that last hits, which is nice. And the double damage is good, but, there's no, see, like during this process, if you were up there, not only did the creeps get up there and give you enough time to go there, but like imagine how fast the creeps would have died if you were auto attacking them, or if you even just spun the wave while it was in this area while you're thinking about going for the rune. And because the creeps didn't get time to go to the tower, you still had an extra range creep here. And of course, respect your double damage. Just treat it like you're last hitting normally, but you have a little bit extra damage. Don't go on like try to say, oh, I could normally last hit it at this much health times two. That's kind of hard math to do. The only way that you can see how much a creep has health is just kind of looking at the bar, and the bar is an approximation. So looking at those big totals, like just trying to do like a multiplication function on when you last hit something by, it's not super easy. But yeah, like see how you're being a crab right now? It's not really helping. You could have got that tonight, could have got that last hit. You did get the last hit, that's good. And now just hit that. Yep, good. And then you could have got that if you weren't crabbing around back and forth. The main thing I wanna take away for you is Just you can't be moved around like a crab. As I see it way too much, I'm gonna probably ideally post something in the middle here where I show you like how to not last hit like a crab and what you should be doing. So I'm just gonna pause for a second, and that will go here. So this is just a little bit of last hitting technique. You're not gonna be running around too much. Just if you know it's coming, you just sit there and you get it. Nothing crazy. Moving around, you can do that whatever if you're afraid of people seeing you or something, but as soon as you know that you need to be getting something, you just sit there, line it up, don't have to turn or anything, just whoop, it's mine. Agreed. Super easy, no need to move. As soon as you know a hit needs to be had, no reason to do fucking anything. Alright, that's that. Alright, welcome back, hopefully. And I know that you didn't think that was a good spin. You were just that was kind of like a panic spin, and then it just came out. These things happen. I forgive you. But ideally at this point, I mean, like I can't really stress how fucked your lane was because you didn't just take the courier earlier. The poor man's shield was a big deal. That would have helped you a shit ton. Would have made you feel a lot less pressured. And then also, I mean, your number one goal on Jug is you don't really need a bottle that much compared to other mids. You didn't even need the salve up to this point. You have a healing ward. The mango, I think, maybe been a little bit questionable. You can always decide between if you're going to go for a bottle or a... I'll just slow it down so I can talk more about these things. If you want to go for a bottle or you want to go for... or you want to just get like the boots as soon as possible. Normally you just get boots anyways, and then you decide if you want to go for the bottle, but... Blade Fury has an obscenely high amount of damage for any spell if they're sitting the full channel, and that's mostly governed by how much faster you are than them. Most mid heroes, they use their first bit of gold for a bottle. Juggernaut is different. You can afford to not do that. You're decently tanky, melee hero. One set of tangos in the south can take care of you for the most part. 400 gold comes out pretty quick. And you just want to get boots advantage. You want to walk up to them and you want to fucking press Q and scare the shit out of them and force them out of lane. Like Drow doesn't have boots right now. You do. You're kind of hurt. You should salve right now and then just run up to her, press Q, and just run her down. And then when it looks like she's getting close to tower, run back. She has very little regen. Just one set of tangos that she's had all lane. But she hasn't taken any harass from you at all, so she feels like really, really strong. And it's only going to get worse once she's 6. Because once she's 6, she'll gain 40 agi, and the poor man's shield will do a lot less to be blocking damage for her, or for you against her, and then the lane is just gonna turn hard. But what you really need to do in this matchup, whenever you can, is you need to be able to spin on anyone that's weaker than you. Drow, definitely a much weaker hero than a Juggernaut early game, and definitely not a hero that's very capable of dealing with you getting up in her face. So if you were to play this lane again, get the poor man's shield immediately. Yeah, and you kind of stopped a little bit there. The thing with Blade Fury is your auto attack isn't exactly disabled. It just does 0 damage. So if your way to running up to Drow Ranger is to right click her, then you will get, like, as soon as you get an auto attack range of her, which is 150 now, so just barely within range of Blade Fury, your hero is going to stop and basically pause for the duration of an auto attack time. So like this duration here, whoop, so that she has that much time to get away. So what you need to do is you need to just like keep right clicking next to her, and not right click on her, right click on a creep or anything like that. You may have known that and just misclicked on a creep when you're trying to right click next to her. But either way, that's your goal. Press Q and you keep right clicking next to her and trying to keep her, within your thing. That sounds pretty good. You still haven't used your salve yet. One of the things about Dota is it's a super momentum based. This was something I was looking at one of our ham replays earlier, and I saw Sam held his Laguna Blade on Alina. It was clear that a Laguna Blade wouldn't have gotten a kill, but it would have made someone scared enough that they wouldn't be openly engaging. Like it would have threatened their life. So whether or not you can actually kill someone immediately, this is kind of like a weird thing that I want to have like a Proudland total episode on. But basically, the point is, if you are low, you are going to you can't put yourself in as dangerous situations, right? Like that's obvious. Like how low you are right now, you can't even go up for a last hit. She might not be able to kill you, or rather, what she's doing right now wouldn't be able to kill you. But if you're low enough, she'll start playing greedier than she was before, and she'll just like run up and try to kill you under tower or something like that. So if you are at high health the whole time, she can't afford to be playing like as aggressively like that and keep forcing you to be afraid. Also, like if someone came and ganked you, you would die immediately if you're just sitting that low. So you have to play like way far back. But if you're at full health, that's not it's not a risk that you're worried about. So you're getting your phase boots now. That's good in general. Oh yeah. Also, this is not a great skilling. Blade Dance now it's only 5% damage increase. Obviously you're going into Blade Fury. Damage increase there is big. The cooldown is big. The mana cost reduction is big. If you talk about how you're doing in this matchup, the only thing you've used your right clicks for this entire time is to get last hits. Crit does not help you get last hits unless, if anything, it will normally just fuck up your last hits. You haven't used the healing ward at all, which I think may be incorrect, although you didn't use the salve either. But healing ward, the mana cost doesn't even increase. It just gets 50% better, and then keeps scaling up by 1% every time you put a point in that. Okay, you missed that range creep because you went up for that. That's fine, but you need to make sure it's like right after you clear the wave that you do this. Okay, so this is good. This was like correct for you to do that, but you should have just gone up. You have phase boots. You have a DD like this. The lane wasn't that great. This was your chance. There's pretty much no way Drow survives a DD jug with phase boots running at her. So that's totally what you should have opted to do. Phase boot, run the fuck up, kill her. So it was good that you made that movement, but you got a little bit of cold feet there. The thing with Juggernaut is you want to be. Juggernaut only basically wants to fight when his Omni Slash is up. But when his Omni Slash is up, he wants to fucking fight. This is what a 130 cooldown at the first point. And basically the way that you should be playing Juggernaut here is fucking if your Omni Slash is up, you want to look for a fight, especially as a mid jug. Safe lane, sometimes you're okay to just push the safe lane, take a tower, something like that. But mid jug. You just want to use it 100% every time. Sorry, probably lagged out a little bit there. Head to alt tab. So the way you're playing this now, you're stuck on low health, which is unfortunate. But you do have full mana. Like you have mana regen right now that you are not using, if that makes sense. Part of Dota is being efficient with all your resources. Your mana regen doesn't regen that quickly, but I mean you have mana regen. It's not being used. You might as well healing ward. Having low mana. It's not like you need this mana right now. You have a mango in your pocket. Just imagine if this mango was a salve, right? Like you would use it right now. If you had a salve right now, you would use it. That's what a mango is on Juggernaut. It's both health or enough mana to spin then Omni. So yes, I mean I don't really need to harp on this too much, but you have extra mana that you can use. You have full health and you have a spell that can heal you. It would heal you 50% faster if you didn't have this extra point in Blade Dance. Obviously, the Blade Dance isn't what you need here. All you needed to do was drop a healing ward, and that's honestly a pretty big deal. It's good that you're looking at this fight. That's probably a fight you would have wanted to go to, but Drow was up there, so even if that wasn't, that would have been an opportunity to push mid. So if you had just used your healing ward and pushed mid. And also, as far as what parts of the Aquila to get first, the Wraith Band is largely not useful. Obviously, it's good. You want to finish the Aquila, but if you had the full Ring of Basilius instead delivered to you when Drow was pushing up here on the top left here, you could have turned the Bastion, put the healing ward down, and just probably taken the whole mid tower, depending on how long away she was, or at least half of it. Taking a mid tower is a huge deal. It would be great to trade I would trade almost any tower in the game for the enemy tier 1 mid. At least early game. I'm not going to trade a tier 4 tower for your tier 1 mid for the most part if it ever came to that. So this is a good idea. You want to use your Omni Slash, but they probably saw you at this point. Day vision is I can guarantee you they saw you. Day vision is pretty big. So they know you're here, but also just look at these targets that you're looking at here. It's been several minutes. It's 10 minutes in. It's been probably 2 minutes or so, at least 3 minutes actually, since you've gotten your Omni Slash. Even if your lane was shit, that's about 3 minutes. So it's not quite as scary. Other people are gaining levels. Troll has 900 health plus 5 armor from this, and then let's see, what does he get? Another 6? Yeah, 6 armor when you need Berserker Rages, so you're not going to kill, even if you get a full duration, you're not going to kill him. And he has the potential to switch and then bash you through your spin. So they just TP'd someone else in. You know Treant was there. He's been there kind of the whole time, and Venom is definitely going to die. But yeah, just look at this. I was never going to kill anyone. It might have killed Bristle. I don't think it even would have killed Bristle. At most, it would have been trading you for Bristle, but level 1 Omni Slash is mostly a single target pickoff thing. If you think about the strength of okay, that's like freaking out. If you think about the strength of level 2 Omni Slash, level 2 Omni Slash is fucking great. Then you look at the slashes there, it's 3 to 6 instead of or it's 3 instead of 6. So level 2 Omni Slash is literally twice as good as level 1. And even that is kind of hard to get a solo kill off on a core like that, especially a tanky core like a Troll Warlord or a Treant Protector, even like tree armor heals that can come out. He can stealth people. It's 1,000 fucking health. This guy didn't even go a tanky build, and he's just tanky as shit. Like Bristle, you're never. I mean, it's a Bristleback. You're not. It's a Bristleback. You're not gonna do that. So like going for the hitting 3 people. Obviously, I think that was a little bit of a you're just trying to make the best out of a bad situation. Like fuck it, I'll throw it out. Maybe it'll work. But like, yeah, there's no world where that's ever gonna work out for you. And if you looked, what happened when you went for that? Here, go back a little bit. So while that's going on. See, did Drow keep pushing? Either way, she was still mid, gaining farm experience. Yeah, if you just look at the what is it, wine net worth, yeah. So so your net worth is super far down now. You haven't been last hitting that great. Drow totally shit on you in lanes. You didn't get your poor man shield early, and you didn't leverage the advantage that you have. And then the gank that you did top didn't work, and the one that Drow did top did. And she's just sitting here last hitting with her absurdly easy, like 160 damage, sitting in strength treads. And she used that kind of space that she got to create an opening mid and try to take this tower down a little bit, which is definitely good to her credit. So when you're putting pressure elsewhere, she's just going to stay in her lane and get that pressure out and push it. So this is a good spin. I definitely like this. I like the way you move back and forth a little bit. It's just unfortunately as a haste. You want to drop your healing ward like right now. So that perfect. Yeah, you want to get it before the fight starts. There's a bit of a cast time. And position here is great, but you just didn't have enough points in it, right? You have 3 points in your Blade Dance now. A crit isn't really going to be a deciding factor. You have basically 0 damage items right now, right? So what is 5% more damage going to do for you? That's like a little bit over 5 damage. 1 skill point for 5 damage, you'd almost be better off just getting a point in stats. Actually, you probably would be better off just getting a point in stats. It'd be 2% attack speed, 2 damage, and then some health and some mana. That would have been better. But even that's not great. Healing ward, if you had like let's say a 4% healer, you'd say your healing ward was twice as good. Your team would have felt a lot less skittish to be going in on this kind of fight. Actually, I want to go back and just kind of think about how that would have gone. Let's see if we can scale this a little bit. Alright, so this business is going on, sure. Great. Audio bugs, whatever. Going forward, yeah, you're buffed up, you're healing decently. You should drop the healing word now, so you'd have 4% going. Yeah, and then everyone would be healing a lot more. PA would be more confident to go in. You'd probably be at about half health now, survive a little bit longer. And then the PA re-engaged, would have had way more health for it, and probably Shadow Shaman wouldn't have gotten back and been able to toss like a couple right clicks. So especially when it's becoming real team fighty like this, it's definitely within your best interest to please save this guy. Oh, good job, Veno. You don't have a point in your ulti. That is not good. If you ever play Veno, don't get 3 points in Poison Sting. That's not the play. But yeah, so more points in the healing word for sure. Especially since the mana cost doesn't go up when you level it; it's just up at a base. But it's such a strong skill it wasn't nerfed to the point you have to ignore it. It was nerfed to the point where if you do want to use it, it's worth like you almost 100% want to focus on skilling it up. You also haven't skilled stats at all. Normally when I play Juggernaut, I get oh, and you don't have this maxed either. Yeah, Blade Dance is just not worth points. That's the last thing I will level up these days. I might get 2 points in it now. Like it wouldn't be uncommon for me to go like 4 Blade Fury, 1 Healing Ward, 1 Blade Dance, 1 ulti stats, and then get another point in Healing Ward, another point in Blade Dance. Like just get to 2 or something for the farm speed, and then after that just keep getting Healing Ward. Or stats, but probably just Healing Ward, unless this mana was like too intense for some reason. They had mana burn, something like that. But yeah, like your levels are pretty hampered here. You don't have a Quelling Blade, so you can't jungle. That was a really good Omni Slash. You see how it's really good as just the individual pick off, and how you can just chase Drow down. Like Drow even has like gold and stuff now, but just the phase boots you have alone, like the raw abilities of your hero, like none of that happened had anything to do with your 3 points in crit. The 3 crit did nothing for you there. Maybe it was one of the hits during the Omni Slash, but it just didn't change any of the math of the fight at all. So it's kind of a takeaway. Don't get extra points in Blade Dance. Think about what your stuff's actually going to do for you. If you had a shit ton of damage, like let's say you had like a Battle Fury and a Yash and a Blink at this point, and you were doing hella damage, it might be worth it to get points in crit like that. But when you're only like the closest thing you have to a right click item right now is a Ring of Aquila at 15 minutes, right? This crit is not like your highest damage sources at this point are going to be getting your Blade Fury off and getting your Omni Slash off, and the only way that you can play to that is give yourself more survivability and potentially more mana, and that comes into stats and more points in Healing Ward. Yeah, you definitely do need to focus on farming a lot more here. I don't really disagree with too much of what you did so far this game outside of the gank here. You ended up just chilling there for a very long time. And if you looked at the way that lane was going, alright, I'm gonna slow it down and talk a little bit about rotations. I don't want to skip too far back because that would be a little bit problematic in getting back here. But so the general lane setup was you had one Veno here who Veno was not winning this lane, right? It's Veno against Troll Warlord Treant. Like Veno doesn't 2v1 those heroes. Veno does okay maybe, but it doesn't win. So if you come up here, you're coming to a lane that a losing 1v2 to a 2v2. So at best the heroes are even. And that's assuming, like, let's say you won your lane, then you have like one weak hero, one strong hero against probably one strong hero, one like average hero. Or you could even if it broke even, but your rotation, so you're losing, like doing a rotation costs your team time, it costs you time, it costs your TP rotation, like it costs you. So it costs you to walk up to an even situation. And they didn't rotate anyone like that. That was 2 heroes that were already there. So if they also wanted to spend those resources to rotate to you, that would have been like they did with the Bristleback. So you spent one rotation and you were given an even engagement. So you're like you spent money, you spent resources to be even. They spent resources by the Bristleback porting there, so that the Bristleback port turned it from a 2v2 into a 3v2. So obviously the Bristleback rotation was good. It wasn't just that he reacted to you, it's that they took an even situation into a winning situation, and you took a losing situation into an even situation. And not only that, but and you spent one of your, like, you were one of the heroes that could rotate. So that was like one less possible hero that had the ability to rotate for you. They still had all of their, rotatable heroes. Either way, bottom line is you spent resources to help a losing lane, and then they spent resources to help the winning lane. And it's obvious how that's going to work out. The winning lane is going to be a lot more receptive to the assistance, to being able to respond to you. If you had gone bottom, then you would have had like a 4v3 and you would have gotten like a duel out of it, and Veno could have just stayed under tower, dropping wards, protecting. This Veno build is fucking atrocious. What the fuck is this? Anyway. Yeah, so it definitely wasn't in your best interest to. So like whenever I'm having issues with a team, this normally happens in pubs or with Hakuna Rana, we're trying to rotate people around. You always think about what lane you want to play to. You played to your off lane here, and that bit you in the ass. What you should have, you should never play to the lane you are losing, unless the lane that you are winning is like unless you 5-man it, then you're. I guess I would still say that you're playing to the lane. So like what you want to do is you want to leverage whatever momentum you got out of whatever lane that you did win. You should probably win the safe lane with this PA, even though her build is fucking abysmal. So what you should have done is maybe ported down there and taken the tower with them with your healing ward or something like that. Just do something to leverage off the fact that they're winning. Like Veno can defend a tower forever. That's one of my favorite things about Veno. Even as a support, is I can just plop myself down. Once I get level 5, I have level 3 wards. I can put myself fucking anywhere, and I can defend that tower 1v3 easy. Let's see. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Are you deep right now? Where are you at? You died. I should probably be reviewing that a little bit, which I will. But for now, we're going to just keep talking about this business. This is a fucking important-ass topic. So you want to always play to the lane that you are winning. And then in this game, we're actually just going to scale back to see net worth. Nah, this lane isn't even really winning, to be fucking honest with you. But it's doing better than your other ones. That's for fucking sure. So either way, it's guaranteed that this lane is like not doing great. Bottom isn't doing great either. So honestly, I feel like the best thing for you to do is probably not to rotate either top or maybe rotate bottom. At least you would have maybe turned it from an even lane into a winning lane by doing that, which is definitely better from a losing lane to a even lane. I need to sneeze very badly. You know what? I can't do it. Alright, I'm going to keep going. If I sneeze, don't blame me. This is fucking hard. I'm not gonna lie to you, Jamkicker, man. This is a tough life that I lead right now. Okay, so the ideal thing would have been either sit mid or keep your TP in your inventory, wait for something to happen, and then TP react to it, and then you have the element of surprise as well on your side. So maybe you take a losing lane against a winning lane. But they're overextending to the point where they're turning themselves from like a winning lane to an even lane based on how far they're overextended, and then you TP in there, and then you make it like an even engage, but they're overextending, and you drop your Omni Slash, something like that. But the game isn't quite in a state, especially with a hero like Queen of Pain, Bristleback, although they're low right now. God bless Dagger Spam. In general, if these heroes are fighting fit or whatever the fuck. This isn't really one where you can just walk up to them and find an Omni Slash, like she'll blink, he'll hopefully have figured out how to not be sitting at 300 health at 9 minutes into the game. Something like that. So like the rotation in general wasn't that great, especially because you lost so much momentum by going back here. Like you could be level 9 right now or level 8 or something like that. So you see the Drowse rotating and turning it into from a 2v2 to a 3v2. And that just kind of changes the entire momentum of this lane. And the response to that isn't for you to go up there later. Like after they won, they have enough momentum that you probably just can't do shit in this lane. And it should be for you to help out bottom late or something like that, or just try to push mid, try to create pressure elsewhere, or just farm yourself up. Let's see, is this motherfucker gonna die too? Is that what this person is gonna do with their life? Just throw it away? No, they're okay. I hope. Do they turn? A little bit. No, they're alright. This is like very interesting. Okay, they're fine. Alright, let's see. We're about 18 minutes, I think. Now, this fight already happened more or less. No, that's too bad. Alright, let's go back and we'll watch that one. Okay, so you have the Yasha, which is good. Alright, so this guy's hella deep. He's got a Shadow Blade. Man, that's rough. And he has a Rosh kill. Okay, so he's there. You have a team around you. That's fine. You're not too wrong about this right now. Okay, he's actually not stealthed anymore, by the way. He just It's just the replay bug. Alright, so you've hung around to your... So he poked at you, which lets you know that he wants to do something aggressive. He's probably yelling at his team. And because he kept staying around there, it's not that insane to say, like, okay, his team is probably getting over here. And he does have an Aegis. So you get the kill, that's one thing. But after that, you need to get the fuck out. He's been around here for a very long time, and they have had plenty of time to figure out that he wants to do some stupid shit. So the enemy team is definitely here by now. And of course, he reses up. And he's just gonna fucking, like, he's just gonna kill motherfuckers. What a tree and ulti. Anyway, Bristleback's in the back line, getting quill stacks up. PA thankfully gets away with her 2 wards that she has for some reason. But in the meantime, what happened to our buddy Jamkicker? Alright, so your Omni Slash is used up. Yeah, so your Omni is used. You don't have mana for shit. You're trying to help PA. Troll is rezzing in the back. Troll, the greatest man fighter in all of Dota 2. And you have no spells right now. He's rooted, but there's still so many people on their team, and your team is totally out of gas, and you do not have an ulti. You just need to get the fuck out of there. But that realization came a little too late. So what I'd say you need to learn from that is anytime an engagement is going on, just assume that the enemy team is reacting to it. You only have a set amount of time to do things before the enemy fucking descends on you like goddamn wolves. Like, every time you hit someone, just assume they're howling for their fucking buddies. So there you managed to kill him very fucking slowly. Like, that's not to your fault, but he died slow as shit. And they took all the fucking time in the world to get to you, but even though they're that fucking awful, it was still enough. Yeah, so like this was going on. You get him, and just like, look at their positioning right now. They're all fucking slow as shit getting over there. Bristleback is already here building quill stacks, and you hardly kill him. Hardly. Your PA is almost dead. He just barely gets him. PA gets out. Your Omni Slash is down. Your spin is down. You don't have mana for shit. But then this fucking idiot commits his goddamn wards and doesn't even trap this motherfucker. But at that point, you just say, fuck it, get out. You spam your B button, which should be bound to the phrase, get back. And then you should just leave here. This was a holy sacrifice this person did for you. And you need to get the fuck out, but too little too late. Yeah, so, you know, you're behind. It's 8 to 14. You know that you do not win a 1v4 or whatever. If this guy dies, that's fucking great. Or rather, not a 1v4. You don't win an even fight, especially when you've already used your ultis on an Aegis. You don't win an Aegis fight either. So, I'm sure you can tell hindsight's 20/20. But if killing an individual, especially somewhere just like in the fucking, like, literally the middle of the map, the enemy team is going to be able to react, especially if they have an Aegis. So you kill them and then they come back with all their shit, and you don't have anything because you just blew it all to get the initial kill. So you definitely, as soon as that kill should have happened, I mean, I don't think you should have even gone for it, but after it did happen, get the fuck back. Do not give the enemy team time to react to, you know, your plays. And you're rezzing now, so that's a lot of time that I don't have to say anything, which is pretty cool. God, this is a long ass game. Do you know how much time I have? I don't have this fucking time. It's fine, I forgive you. But your build from here, Manta Style is good. It's important to have Manta Style to purge Drow's Silence. If you don't have Manta Style, you can't spin out of anything. You can't spin out of Silence. You're silenced. It can purge the Whirling Axes. It can make it so Troll has to choose what to hit. Oh, God bless. You gonna kill him? No. Because you have no damage. You just have a fucking Vlads and Treads. Yeah, so Manta Style would give you the ability to, you could purge Queen of Pain's dagger, you could dodge her dagger with it, you can get out of Treant's ulti, you can dispel Treant's Leech Seed, and you can dispel Troll's slow and his blind. That's a good spin. Yep, just stay right on top of Drow. This is a good fight. That's good. Just be careful about this guy. You don't have that much armor. It's good. You dropped the healing ward right as that was happening. This is fucking great. That's what you need to do. But Queen of Pain is there. It's good. You're just getting that damage in. You got your healing ward ticking up, but the damage is just rolling in. I don't think you'll be able to get this. Yeah, that was a little unfortunate. I don't know if that's quite any misplay on your part there. That's just kind of the way the fight shook out. Actually, we can go back a little bit. Get this sped up a little bit. good. Kind of weird that everyone like TP'd there. You're trying to save. That's good. Slow it down here. Okay, so this spin is great. This spin is honestly, this is fantastic. Yeah, and then just stay on top of the drow. Really good. That hex is good. Just get her down. Yep. You want to be dropping the healing word about here. You only put it a little bit late, which is fine. I think chasing this bristleback in general was just wrong. You killed 2 people, but you don't have Omni Slash. You don't have really any spells left. And you had no choice from there to engage, and it looked like, you know, there was a chance that it might have worked out for you. I think the way that you played that fight was okay. Still, you only have 1 point in healing ward. I already addressed that. I'm not going to hammer you about it, but that's another situation where, like, if you were healing twice as much as that, if your whole team was healing twice even, you know, like 2.5 times as much as that, that would have been just a 1 fight, like, by far. And the damage that you got... I wish you weren't clicking on these guys. I want to look at you. The damage that you got from your points in this is honestly not that significant. And also if you had Manta there, just like when you were jamming on the Queen of Pain, just pop the Manta, and you know she would have taken a great deal more damage. All right, so hopefully there's a little bit of information I can pass through here. But I mean, if you look at this game, like, you haven't really farmed all game. There's no time that I've looked at this when you've just been like, all right, I'm gonna farm now and get my next item up. You also haven't really leveled. I think you've put 1 point in stats at this point. Yeah, this looks like a 1 point in stats build, which is decent. But you know, like, if you look at your items, like, all you have is plus 10 agi. Look at their AoE damage. They have a fucking bristle who you're gonna kill yourself hitting. They have a Queen of Pain. Trolls, axes are probably going to hit you at some point. Like, they have a shit ton of damage, and you have almost no health at all. Yeah, okay, this is a good spin. It's good. You should have just run to your tower. Oh, that was a great Omni, but yeah, he's just too strong. He has so much health. I like the idea of turning around for that, but yeah, Troll is just so much stronger than you at this point. Like, he has, even if you did get that, he could have probably Shadow Bladed away. He is just such a fucking incredible man fighter. You already don't have your spin, so you have no escape. It was a nice, like, fuck it, I better risk it kind of thing, but there's just, like, no real situation where that really works out for you. But yeah, again, there's still, like, no time where you've really farmed. You don't have a Quelling Blade, so it's kind of hard for you to farm. You probably should have gotten a Quelling Blade, like, pretty early into this game. It's a fine spin. You got your Diffusal now. That's good. Although you want to make sure you get that Manta next. That Manta is so important this game, especially also for farming. Just pop your Manta, send it down a lane. It gives you some tank too. Manta's incredible. I think almost every game I play on Jug mid, the build is going to be, you know, you're going to get your phase Aki Poor Man Shield. Decide whether or not you want bottle. Probably, you know, you'll get brown boots, then decide if you want bottle or not. Then you do the phase Aki, or Poor Man Shield phase Aki, that kind of business. Either way, the important items you're going to get, it's going to be Manta first, and then Blink, and then Diffusal. If you don't like Blink, just go Manta, then Diffusal. But Manta first almost every game. Unless there's even if there is absolutely nothing to dispel, the damage increase is good. It's just a farm increase item for me, honestly. I just pop Manta, send it down a wave, and then you can last hit with them if you want to, or you can just, like, you know, micro them, select them on the ranged creep, and then just, like, let them go from there. But I get so much value out of the Manta. And your net worth obviously is, like, it's not bad, but it's not that great. You know, it's almost 30 minutes in. Okay, there's a fucking fight if I've ever seen one. It's good so far. You have your ulti. You don't even really need to use it. The enemy just kind of took a bad engage. Yep, good ulti. You're going to get that kill. That's good. Alright, we'll watch that fight again to see if there's anything different that you should have done. Okay, this looks good so far. See, you're farming, which I like. I like pretty decently that you're getting the dust. I'm gonna have some comments about that later, because as I saw at the end of the game, it was like 100 and so minutes. You had travels 2 and still had a dust on you, which is probably something wrong with that. Although I won't be able to say until I see the end of the game, right? All right, so this is just this. Nothing too interesting. All right, here's this fight going on. Okay, so you see that they're in your base, yeah? Yeah, yeah, you see that this shit's going on. You definitely should have just TP'd. If you TP'd here, you'd have been able to just get in a little bit faster. I mean, the fight went well, but that should have been a TP. It's not like you knew in advance it was just going to go fantastic. Also, if you look at your move speed, one of the best things that you can do as Juggernaut is here, I'll scroll back a little bit. Your healing ward has a move speed of 450. You, with your phase, have 460, but after the phase runs out, if you just drop the healing ward and then walk it over to like where your Legion Commander was getting shit upon, that would have been totally the play. Yeah, so if like you're here, you see some shit's going on, and you just drop healing ward, you run yourself to this, but then you just like send your healing ward like over here, and you should be running your hero, I don't know, somewhere here. I mean, you should have just TP'd. You've got the TP available, you've got 2 on you. And if you TP'd like right now, you would be fucking there. And you would drop your healing ward, and you would be helping this Legion out, and Legion 100% wouldn't have died. Yeah, so even when you're here, just drop the healing ward right now. You can drop it in these trees, you know, whatever. But one of the things I've been working on Jug is to get that healing ward out like absurdly early. And abuse the fact that it can get to fights faster than I can for the most part. Like, it's got, what is that, like 70 move speed on you? 72? And that's a shit ton, right? That's like a bunch of fucking move speed. That's more than you with or without boots. But that Omni Slash was good. That was correct. Just get the kill. Don't worry about it too much. Alright, still slow. Speed up a little bit. Alright, you've got a healing ward now. Your team is pretty healthy. You're not exactly, but so you want to drop the healing ward like right now. To get the cooldown going. You'll probably kill the tower and duration of it, but like you're not at top health right now. If you know, let's say Drow reses and you're a little slow to get out, and then someone jumps on you, you're gonna be starting without full health, and your healing ward isn't down right now. So the cooldown isn't ticking. So if you do need to use it later, that's just bad. It's good to get this cooldown on your skills going. You're gonna have mana regen that, you know, begs to be used soon, that sort of thing. Alright, you got the Manta now, that's great. So like first thing you do, yeah, clear this wave, sure. Pop the Manta, A-click it down the lane. That's what you should do every fucking time. When you have a Manta, you want to almost be, unless you're going to fight soon, you want to use it all. Like, pop it now, right-click on this, make it kill that range creep. That sort of thing. It's farming. It doesn't cost you anything besides mana. Yeah, pop your Manta, go back. If you wanted to be a little bit better, you'll probably get, nah, you didn't get that one. Got one hit. Yeah, just one hit there. What you can do, just A-click yourself over to a creep camp, last hit in lane with the Mantas. That's a little bit more advanced, and you may not be looking to, you know, use that much brain power, but at the very least you can just you can micro your Mantas onto like a ranged creep, and they'll guaranteed get that last hit, which is worth more gold than, you know, the melee creeps or whatever. But if you want, you know, if you want a real replay analysis, what you should be doing is popping Manta after you're done with the wave, setting it down, farming the jungle with your hero, and using the Mantas to last hit in lane. As a good ulti just to save yourself. Backing up a little bit there was completely wrong. Of course, you know that now. You basically are never going to get a solo kill for the rest of this game. That's just not going to happen. I guess unless it's maybe against a Drow and you're diffusing here the whole time. Like, your ulti is not going to kill a single fucking human. Solo kills do not happen in Dota unless you're absurdly ahead. You are not absurdly ahead. That is not something that you are. And a lot of your value is in your healing ward right now. And if you're dying just to get Anomaly Slash off, you're not getting your healing ward out. Your team's doing fairly decently. Yeah, they got that kill. That's good. But yeah, just the idea that you could Omni and spin to kill someone who's ahead of you is just never going to happen, especially if it's Troll Warlord. Drow's questionable. Legion build is not bad. This is totally fine. Venno. Okay. I like that you have this dust. It's nice that you have the dust. I would have liked to see like your inventory management as a whole is okay. You definitely could get way better at it. I can kind of touch on that later, but like for a huge part of this game, you had like I don't know, there was a part where you had like pieces for yeah. So that Omni Slash, I guess it was fine. Especially if you knew the Legion was coming in, but on the whole, like I probably like, it worked out, but I probably wouldn't have gone for it. I would have just kept hitting him, and then when Legion got there, we'd duel him. I'm not sure if your Omni Slash had a lot to do with that kill, but how far behind you were, I think that it was probably correct to do. Yeah, so see now you're farming now, like you're getting last hits and that sort of thing, and your net worth is fucking great. Like all you need to do is farm. The biggest difference between low MR high MR players, they just fucking farm. And that's one thing I would totally say about your Juggernaut is you need to just farm. Like especially the time where you're just chilling here and there was just like 2 waves just fucking crashing against the rocks of your tower, like fucking over here like that. That's not okay. Just farm, especially on a hero like Juggernaut, right? The fact that you had the inclinations to skill crit, which means that you do acknowledge that you want to be right clicking, but you don't have a single right click item. If you do want to play a Juggernaut that's going to skill crit up, you need to get farm. There's no 2 ways about it. What a bad time to throw wards down and to then right click them on a hero instead of a tower. Okay. That's when you just get the fuck back. That's just not great. Not great situation. Healing ward is not down still. I guess you didn't have mana. Something bad happened if you did not have mana for healing ward. Let me see what your mana usage was. Okay, so you've got like half mana at this point. Why do you have half mana? I guess that was because you Omni Slashed earlier. Yeah, it's this, and then you do the Omni Slash mid. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. Your mana goes up decently quickly. Okay. Yeah, at this point, okay, yeah. So this Manta use was okay, honestly. But if you knew you wanted to go, okay, so they kept pinging. So yeah, so that Manta was probably wrong because that left you without a bunch of mana. And your mana is regenning just not that quickly. Like you don't even have enough for a single Omni right now. You need to tell Shadow Shaman about this. You need to tell him that you need his mana boots. And you're there, but he doesn't mana boot you. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on, but you definitely need to manage your mana a bit better. I always keep track of who has mana boots on my team. Yeah, so you got your ulti off, but then you just had nothing to follow it up. If he did mana boot you, there's mana boot like 120, they're 135. Yeah, you probably would have had mana for both skills. Especially if you did something like drop here, Diffusal Blade, and then he mana boots you, and then you pick it back up. Overall, the fight wasn't that bad, but it could have been a perfect fight if you had mana. And that's just like if you knew you wanted to push top, hold your Manta style. I know I was talking so much about how you want to just use the Manta style. Part of that is if you have a bottle, but if your mana is a big issue, you need to keep track of who has mana boots. And on Jug, mana is often one of your biggest issues with the nerfs to healing ward. You just don't have that much mana anymore. So I guess I want to pause it for a sec. So things to note: laning phase. Worry about your fucking items hardcore. You can't just not worry about your fucking items. You got to get them immediately. Something like a Poor Man's Shield, like you get the Poor Man's Shield because of the phase you're in, and it's absurdly strong at the phase of the game you're in. If it's delayed, it's not a great item. Boots, get them as soon as possible. Spin down a motherfucker. Bottle, you don't look like you're too married to the item, which is fine. Bottle is kind of like a 50-50 item. Decide if you want it or not. In general, I like to get it. But I mean, I play like PA mid, and I try to go bottle just so I don't have to go either Vlad's or Vanguard. So just kind of take it however you want to take it. Item build wise, finish your Manta 100%. Finish the fucking Manta after you. You can get a blink after. If you don't, the diffusal's fine. This butterfly you're going for is wrong. I'm just gonna tell you openly, like, don't go for a butterfly here. There's almost no part about this game that's like the biggest issue with you is that you're not dodging attacks or you're not right clicking for enough. The biggest issue is that there is an orgasm of death every fight that is fueled by like Bristleback, Queen of Pain, the Whirling Axes, Treant Protectors, ulti, all that shit. And the only way you can stop some of that is either be tankier so you survive the amount of death, have more mana so you can get your healing ward out, or just be able to stop it in general. And I think the best place for you to go now would just be for the Abyssal Blade. That way you can just like hit bristle, abyssal him, walk in front of him, or you can lock troll down so he can't fucking stun lock you, or he can't stealth away. Lock drow down so she can't gust you away. Lock treant so he can't stealth people. Like you just need the survivability. They have a bunch of right click, so the damage block is decent. And the casual stun and lockdown is obviously really good, especially if you're going to be like, troll, you want to be able to stun him so he can't just like man fight you and fucking bash you down. Drow, you don't want her to get away. Queen of Pain, you're never going to kill her unless you stun her. She'll just blink away from you. Treant Protector can stealth himself. You have a dust, which is nice, but he can still just walk away. Bristleback, you want to get in front of him, right? Like that's your main goal. You're not going to be able to do that without stuns. And yeah, your team does have some stuns on them, but it's not like they have a bunch of crazy AoE stuns. Just in general, like Abyssal's a really good item, and you really need some tank on you right now. I'll resume here. Buddy, this game's long. Been going a long time. Alright, what's this player perspective shit? Alright, so you're running to him, that's fine, nothing wrong with this. You're gonna go up to this fight. I like how you're watching the fight the whole time. That's really good. Drop the healing word right now. Perfect. You fucking did it. Yeah, that was great. You played that perfectly. The way you looked at it at the correct time, when you had a second of downtime, when you were like, okay, healing word, get it down, get everyone healed up. Maybe they'll re-engage. Who knows? But yeah, that was great. You drop the manta, A click it, turn towards the base. Like it seems like you're in the zone now. It's just you fucked up the early game so hard. But you seem pretty good now. Okay. And your team killed Roche, that's good. Top's getting pushed in right now. You're farming, fucking fantastic. Like your play for the last like 10 minutes and now is much better than the play that I saw earlier. Like you seem like you're really comfortable right now. I feel like a lot of it maybe you're just not comfortable with the mid Juggernaut play style. And that's totally fine. It's just something to learn. This butterfly really I have to stress is not good. Especially because like Troll Warlord is a very natural MKB carrier. Whatever the fuck is going on here is bad, but that's not your fault, so it's fine. Drow likes MKB pretty well too. Bristleback does physical damage, but none of it is affected by your evasion. Quap has no shits to give about. Well, she cares some. She does a good amount of right click, but for the most part, the MKB is like not fantastic. Troll is someone who hits fast, not incredibly hard. So Vanguard's pretty decent against that. Your positioning isn't bad here. That seems fine. Yeah, I like the spin, but sitting out in general was wrong. There's no world where anything that you do there would have been very helpful outside of delaying. Your team was coming up soon, so you really just didn't need to do that at all. There's a lot of issues in people playing Dota with sitting in front of towers are just like, well, maybe I'll just like delay them a little bit and get some value out of it, but obviously, if you looked at that engagement, and if I told you beforehand, and you said like, "Hey, what is the chance of them doing something you weren't expecting you to die?" You probably would have said like, maybe about like 40% chance that they do something I wasn't expecting and die. But if I said like, "What is the chance of you dying there?" You would say like, "Oh, none. I have spin." And if I said, "What is the chance of them doing something you don't expect and then you dying?" You probably would have answered like pretty high, like 40% or something. So just always assume that there's something that they can do that you don't expect. Especially at a lower MMR, like once you're fucking 9K, you probably have the ability to predict everything they're going to do. But if you're lower though, just always ask yourself, what if they do something I don't expect? And the answer is almost always going to be they are going to do something you don't expect, and you will die. And so like you probably had a 40% chance of dying there. I would have said a lot higher, but because you did it, I'm going to assume that you had some faith in your own decision making. But in general, I say that was a pretty high risk play. And you ask yourself what the reward is. Maybe they kill the tower 2 seconds slower at most, or they take your racks 2 seconds slower at most. And you dying means it's a definite like racks loss or whatever. At least that you have to use your buyback for certain. Them taking it 2 seconds faster, your team still would have been up in time. So in general, just like don't sit behind anything that you can't defend by like killing them all. That's a better like err on the side of not defending things than on the side of defending things solo and then dying. That's how you should play. Regeneration. But you're doing well now. You have the butterfly. I would almost say just spam flutter while you're doing this shit. Like, what are you doing right now? Not fluttering. That's what. It's kind of walking. teams together. They're just like, we got it. Let's try to do something, team. We just want to fight. And I mean, look at this. Look at all the space you got. You got no vision on. This is just crazy shit. I can't like ping. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, there's crazy shit everywhere, all around here. Like someone could be there. There could be okay. You got a sentry now, which is good. It's just wrong for you to be pushing here in general, I can say. You're still not up on, like, you're not up on gold or anything like that. And it's just, yeah, it's just pretty questionable in general. Okay, so you see there's guys here. You got rooted. Your team is in grave danger. You should have healing warded. Healing ward now. There you go. Yep, and just put it on your team. Keep moving it. Get the Omni Slash off. Perfect. If you had an Abyssal right now, you'd be stunned. Okay, that's good though. You got him. Alright, great fight overall, honestly. If you had an Abyssal, you could get this guy, but I think he's just going to get away. Oh, no, you got him, I think. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Alright. You have Diffusal. What the fuck's an Abyssal for? Great. And Legion is getting top right now. This is going pretty well. I shudder to see how this turns into a loss later. Because I'm imagining that there's... whatever happened is going to be the reason that you want me to look at this. Okay, good. You're killing the creeps while the fort is going. Okay, they buy back one person. Yeah, just take this Rax, take the other one. You should be good. Yeah, you already got bottom. Yeah, just get out. You're done. You're done. Legion is being kind of stupid, but for the most part, no, it looks like you're good. You're out. Oh my god, and this goes on for fucking like 20 more minutes? You shitting me, dude? What happened? Okay, you got rooted. That's cool. Yeah, y'all need a fucking gem. I don't know if that's clear or not at this point, but buy a gem. You have 4,000 gold. You're fucking Shadow Shamanist. Buy a gem. You get a fucking... Get a gem. Give fucking gemmers. Someone needs a gem and a quelling blade, and they need to fucking go about the map and get that shit accomplished for you. Yeah. Just get a gem. Alright, so you bought most of the Abyssal. Like, it's good that you're going for the Abyssal, but get a gem is the only thing I can really say about that. Against Treant, if you have map control, like you took 2 lanes of Rax, you have the full ability to just be like, yo, let's buy a gem, team. We just took a bunch of shit. Your support isn't going to be like, no, I can't. Like, they'll get a gem. He doesn't even have fucking boots. Oh, wait, are those boots on the ground? Those better be his fucking boots on the ground. Nope. He just doesn't have fucking boots anymore. Okay, he bought travels. Okay, everything's fine. He sold his boots and then... Okay. Alright, it's all good. It's all good. He has boots now. I was very worried. Alright. So you're great. You're doing good. Doing good now. Just trying to get that Abyssal up. You should have the Basher in your inventory instead of the Vanguard. Basher's only 50 health less. Doesn't have the HP regen, but whatever. And obviously bashing is fucking great. Okay, your PA is being stupid as fuck. That was not the dagger to go for. But, you know, she didn't die, which is fine. And you're kind of covering her a little bit, which gives her a bit of confidence. How does this go so wrong for you? What happens, buddy? What happens? This is good. You're just farming, playing careful. I like this. You still need a fucking gem. I don't know if I told you that yet. You need deep wards on their side of the jungle. Like, you need a ward here. I can't fucking ping on the map. Anyway, this is where my cursor is. This area, their top spire. And then like a Roche ward or something. They're in Roche right now. You saw that, right? Yeah, that's a thing. Okay, so you missed that. That's bad, but I think they have it under control. What the fuck? Oh, that's Radiant. Okay, yeah, we got it. Okay, he probably just Shadow Bladed out because y'all don't have a fucking gem. Look at how fast you attack at 2 times speed. Still impressed right now. Alright, you have money for your thing, but you're saving for buyback because you're a responsible American. You're Australian, but, you know. Okay, looks like you're trying to force... Okay, yeah, this troll is doing some creep cutting. That's really good of him. Now he stealths away. You don't have fucking gem, and you don't have fucking gem. There's no gem on you, so that's just gonna happen. There's no gem, which is bad. But God, this PA makes no fucking sense, man. Anyway, all right, so you're going for this fight. You got Venom wards going up. That was a bad ulti. Everyone's dying. You should get gotten back. You just got fucking like 8-man tree and ulted because you have no fucking gem. But meanwhile, Legion, I like, part of me is like, oh, she'll probably win. Alright, so she's just like resigned to die. Alright, so you made the erroneous conclusion that you won the game. Is something that happened right now. Alright, so you probably need to buy back here. Yeah, buy back now, I think, is, well, no, you know what, you're probably okay. Yeah, no, that's good. You have another set of wards to drop if need be. Yeah, not bad. No, that all worked out. Should be switching your Vanguard out for the Basher. Don't know if I said that 3 times yet or just 2. Okay, you're playing cautious. I like that. Like, your team needs wards out so bad. Okay, you see the Bristle? You need to be walking over to that right now. You're not even looking at it. Yeah, that whole fight took you a little too long to get to. There you go. Good ulti. Good ulti. There you go. Perfect. Well, no, you lost both cores. That actually was a really bad fight. Not that it was not in your favor. It was. It just should have been an amazing fight. When you're at this point in the game, just you really need to be watching the minimap. You can last hit without even needing to look at shit. Just press A, click the ground, and you go fucking, let God sort it out. But yeah, you should have reacted way faster. Even at 2 times speed, it wasn't fast enough. But yeah, just watch the minimap a lot. One thing to practice in the laning phase to help your minimap awareness is every time you last hit a creep, or every time you throw an auto attack, just like glance at the map real quick. Okay, you took megas. Oh, you lose this game. Oh no. What happened, buddy? What happens? You can tell me. Oh gosh. Oh god. Oh no. Yeah, go home. You need a flutter, buddy. Oh, oh god. No. Oh, Shadow Shaman, no. Oh, buddy. Oh, you need to get out of there. Oh, this is bad. Flutter. No, you're fucking dead. Oh my god. Oh no. Yeah, this is a throw. This is a very throwy situation right now, my friend. Look at this map. Look at how badly you fucks need a gem. You have megas, but you don't have map control. That is like the story of this game is you have megas, but no map control. They have the whole fucking map. Like, look at how much shit they see. They have map hacks, and you have megas. Map hacks are better than megas. That's just a fact. Yeah, you lose. Yeah, that's game. Not a lot to say at this point. Yeah, that's good. It's good by you. Yeah, that hex. I would say that you could have tried to spin and just right click the tower down, but that wouldn't have worked, but it would have been better than whatever you tried to do. You still have buyback. Yeah, I would have just spun and hit tower. Troll can bash you out of it, but at least you would have gotten some damage on. Like, if you're going to go for that, you might as well go for it. There's no getting out at that point. You still have buybacks. It's not the end of the world. Legion is trying to see how bad she can throw this. Turns out that bad. What a fucking idiot. Okay, that's good. Is he dead? He must be dead. Yeah, but not before fucking killing PA. Yeah, MKB is so yeah. Like you have it. That's right. Not only is MKB good here, but you have not only are there heroes like good for MKB, but I mean, like you have a PA on your team. Don't build Butterfly. You would be much better off with have gotten the Abyssal earlier, and then instead of this Butterfly, like Bloodthorn would have been pretty cool, honestly. Um, Silver Edge is fantastic. That's like a totally fine item to get. I think Silver Edge would have been the item. Yeah, and you just get killed there. Like if you have Silver Edge, you can get away from every one of those fights, and you know like their cores aren't gonna have dust. They're not responsible adults like you. It's just unfortunate that like you got the Boots of Travel and like your item progression is just gone now. Like Boots 2 isn't gonna help here, and like you have basically an entire item slot to scale with, but it's like tied up in like almost 5,000 gold of Boots of Travels, right? Like what if instead of that you had a Silver Edge, which is about like you could basically have a Silver Edge in phase instead of this dust. And then you could just have done all the stuff you already did this game, only get out for free. Unless I don't think they have a gem on anyone, do they? And if they did, then you could kill them and get their gem. But yeah, they don't have a gem. Yeah, you should have just got Shadowblade. Late game Shadowblade, great. Yeah, it's impossible to kill that guy. It's too late in the game, and you're just getting controlled up so bad. Like even at BKB would have been good here. What are these buybacks, man? Like, what is the reasoning? I get that they're dead, but they still have an Aegis and shit. Oh, that spin was wrong. You get that guy. You need to get out, though. No, you got that. That's good. Oh, wait, you won. What the fuck? Why did it say you lost? Alright, well... I hope that was suspenseful for everyone, including me. Because okay, great. Did it say you won or what? Did I just... Oh no, Radiant Victory. Alright, I just looked at the kill score, I think, and I was like, damn, you lost this game? No, yeah, you won. You won. Alright. Alright, so that's good. Alright, overall, I'm going to look at the graphs here. And just look at, like, player net worth. I want to show, like, how... So you basically didn't start farming until, I'm going to say, about, like, the 25-minute mark. And you were super low at that point. Like you were below their offlaner, or who was maybe a carry depending on how you view dual lanes. But you were like fifth on net worth, right? And then when you started farming, like regardless if that's fights started to go well for you, but you basically like rocketed up, and then you just kept going up as soon as you were like, okay, I can farm now. But I mean, the truth is you could have farmed the whole game long. There were specific instances that I tried to note when you could have been farming. The time when you went top, in general, the laning phase you're farming wasn't great. A lot of your last hitting techniques could be very easily refined just by like not moving around and just focusing on the last hit themselves instead of trying to be this micromaster walking back and forth. And that's not like to flame you or anything, but that's something that I see people do all the time. They're told you should be walking around in lane, and they take walking around in lane as taking importance over just fucking sitting there staring at their goddamn screen and right clicking on their mouse. That's all that's important in the laning phase. Walking around like a goddamn crab, not in your best interest. Item build wise, definitely what you should be starting with is Poor Man's Shield Tango if you're not going to get shared tangos. Buy the salve as soon as you get the bounty rune, and then go into brown boots, and then bottle if you want, and if not, get phase boots. You're totally fine with buying a mango after that as well. If you have a mango on you by the time you're 6, that's great. That way, if you don't have full mana, you can still like Omni Slash, pop your mango, and Battle Fury, Blade Fury, the fuck? Is it Blade Fury? The spin? Pretty sure. I'm gonna check right now. Yeah, Blade Fury. This is Blade Dance, right? Okay, yeah. So then Blade Fury on them, like that's what I use the mango for the most part. As far as I'm gonna go demo a little bit and just like show you kind of an item progression to deal with like little items, because I feel like a lot of the way that you dealt with your itemization was a little bit weird.
Juggernaut.
I'm gonna walk over here so I don't get experience and shit. So one of the ways that I see people mismanage their early game inventory is they just don't know how to manage the small items you have available to you. So I'm going to show you, like, starting item wise, you would have something like this, just a Poorman Shield and the Tango. As soon as you get the bounty rune, buy this healing salve. Here, can I get a courier? Right, cool. Good, put you over here. All right, yeah. So you'd have the have that, like, so like the way I would do it. Sell this. Just like when you're going to, I'm gonna show you a little bit of buying micro shit. So as soon as you get this, you walk out to base, you go to the rune, say the rune's in the river, blah blah blah. Walk there. At some point during the phase to walk over to the river, I'll shift click my healing salve to add it there, and then I know I want brown boots after, so I'll click that, and then afterwards I'll control shift, click that, and then my boots are there too. So as soon as I pick up the bounty rune, buy it. It should have gone to the courier, but anyway, so buy it and then get it sent over like as soon as the game starts. And then after you get so and so last hits, press your keybind. You see it went straight to there. It's because I have a keybind, which you should have. It's right. I don't know if you do not know. I hope you do. But purchase quick buy, most useful fucking bind in the game. If you're dying, just fucking slam it. Did that stop my recording? Nope, we're good. All right. Yeah. So just like fucking do that shit, and then you'll buy it. You just buy all that shit. In World of Warcraft, when I used to play that, I had all of my defensive cooldowns bound to my number pad, so I joked that I could just like fuck whenever I was dying, just like, and that I would just live. So do shit like that, and it's really fun. So if you're dying, just spam whatever hotkey you have there. Make sure you're using quick buy. That's like #1 way I can tell you to very easily increase your MMR by through the UI. That's one great way. All right, so you have my buying TPs is X, so Z is to buy shit that I use XXX for TPs. Really easy. Yeah, so you get there. If you want to bottle, like if it looks like no one on your team is going to have mana boots, I think bottle's a pretty good idea. If you don't want it, you don't need to get it though. Yeah, so you go there. Maybe you get phase boots next. If it looks like the enemy mid is going to be moving around and you can push the lane, after that, these aren't my items, by the way. This is just the default that Valve puts up for me because I'm in demo instead of like in game. Yeah, like a wand is fantastic. Mana's a big issue, as you saw. Having a wand deals with that pretty well. Let's say by now your tangos and yourself should be gone. But yeah, like this is a pretty good. You should probably have a TP as well. This is like pretty good for the laning phase, more or less. You're gonna want like an infused raindrop right afterwards, and then maybe have a quelling blade. Aquila is great if it looks like you're gonna be able to push the lane. Go from you don't need the raindrop right then. You might not need the full wand. If you think it looks like you're gonna be able to push the lane, maybe just get the stick, and then for the Aquila, go for the Bassi first. With like this kind of item build, it's going to be really easy for you to push a tower. The Basilius is going to make the creeps not die to a tower immediately. Like this, the difference. So if you look at what like a Wraithband does for you versus what a Bassi does for you, it's like Bassi is honestly a fucking transformative item. I should disassemble this. So if you have a Bassi, like you get 7 damage, but your creeps just live for fucking ever. Here, can I just walk over here? Look at how much damage these fucks are going to get on this tower. This is wild. Look at this thing. It's fucking melting. And the creeps, they just don't die. Alright, let's see if I can, let's make me, where's invincibility? There we go. Yeah, look how long it takes these creeps to fucking die. Then I turn my Bassi off. It's like a full 2 hits that they can withstand. Difference. Yeah, they'd be like dead now. But 2 more hits and they're good. And the range creep can take 1 more. See? Great. That's because they didn't have it in range, whatever. Okay, so like that does that much for you. Wraithband, only 2 more damage, 3 more strength, 3 more attack speed, a little bit more mana, although Ring of Basilius gives you a mana regen aura, so that basically is a wash at best. But it doesn't really change a lot for you. And it is missing about an armor. So getting and when you were buying it, you had like a null towel or a circlet and the slipper in your inventory. Like that doesn't fucking help. You just had 2 item slots taken up for nothing. But like if you look at this item build that I have here, these are like very easy. I could probably have this by like 10-12 minutes, something like that, depending on how the lane goes. And I'm in like fucking fighting shape. Like I'd probably be level, let's say level 8 at this point. That's 1 level too many. And I'd want to be a build like this for level 8, and then for level 9 I'd probably put a second point in my healing ward. But yeah, I mean, like, look, I got like 1,000 health. It's pretty solid. I have decent enough mana, plus I have a wand to back me up. I have I have 2.7 regen right now between my int, 0.85 from the raindrop, all that shit. And then after I do enough fighting, or if I feel like I don't need magic stick anymore, or I don't want the raindrop, or the raindrop goes away or something, like I can have Quelling Blade. Like this is a fine set of items. This is a fine set of items. Or like, you know, drop the Aquila and get the magic stick upgraded to a wand. Like this is okay if someone else on my team is going to get Aquila. So any combination of those is completely acceptable. From there, I'd say, let's say, so you either want definitely a magic wand or an Aquila. Having both is fine, but then you're going to need to cut either the Quelling very early or the raindrop pretty early. But going from there, I think you probably would want to just, you know, drop the raindrop out. Maybe keep the wand. If you have the wand finished, drop the Quelling. But I think in general, I would probably myself sit about here with these items. And then pick up the Yasha, and then after that take it into the Manta, and then drop the Quelling, get a Blink, and then if you don't want the Blink, too fucking bad, but you know, if you don't want the Blink, then don't go the Blink. Drop my Poor Man's Shield, get the where's this fucking item, get the Diffusal, and then drop the Aquila, and get this, and then yeah, after that, I don't know, just drop the fucking TP, man. Look, what is a TP for? What do TPs even do for you? They don't do anything. And then I think a pretty standard build right now is the Silver Edge, and you'll be pretty well off. And then afterwards, you can drop your Phase Boots and get Travels. I'm honestly not really joking when I'm saying like just go TP-less and get your Silver Edge. Like your mobility when you have Phase Boots plus Silver Edge is honestly pretty high. It's not too hard to get around places. Like you're just fast as shit. Let's see, what is this like? Look at this shit, 522, easy. Yeah, it's like pretty easy to get around. You're fast. You have Blink too. Like between Blink, Shadow Blade, and Phase, you don't actually need a TP that badly if you're positioning a smart. But if you don't like Blink, which is totally acceptable, you just have, you know, you'd go to this build, switch your TP out for that, and then get rid of your Phase Boots and replace it with either Butterfly or MKB if you need it. And that's more or less where I would go on a Jug build. If you really think you need Scotty for whatever fucking reason, I guess drop the Silver Edge maybe. I don't know. Drop the MKB for Scotty. That's acceptable. If you need BKB, drop the Silver Edge for the BKB. Yeah, that's. I think that's about it. It's just going over some itemization. And I feel like if there's anything else, you know, you can message me as it pertains to this replay. But yeah, that's all. Overall, you played really well past 25 minutes. But your early game is definitely what you should look at. If I had any advice for you at all, just well, I mean, I do a lot, hence this fucking video. But if anything to go forward from here for yourself, just go to like the watch tab, search for heroes, Juggernaut. And this is just like casual. Obviously, there's better things that you can do, but like, you know, let's just fucking look at this. What time is this at? 27 minutes. Let's see. What's one that's pretty early? I mean, this isn't a great game. I would actually argue this is probably a pretty bad game. This is a low ass MMR, but it's pretty early on in the game. Yeah, this is good. Just, you know, find one that's early game, and just look at what other people do. Pro players are great, but a lot of the time, could not watch game at this time. Well, anyway, the point of it all here. This is great. Perfect. The point is, if you want to see what other people do in a casual setting, like copying pros is one thing, but also being able to see what but you're trying to practice your pub play, right? Like you're not actually trying to be the most competitive jug in the world. So just look at what other casual juggernauts are doing that are better than you, and you can actually learn a lot. This isn't a mid jug game, so I'm actually not even going to bother looking at it. And this guy is awful. Okay, you know what? Just watch someone else. Don't watch this guy ever.